the murmurs of automation was coming to marketing. We were starting to see products that kind of had loose early adaptations of automation, meaning they could create ads on the fly. Like you create image ads really quick. It could rewrite content really quick. And we were looking at it because you look around your room, and you have 15 content writers employed full time, five to 10 designers employed full time. And that's great. That's how advertising always was. But then you had these automated machines that were beginning to do it for you. It wasn't nearly as good as what our team was doing, but they were starting to gain. And that was what I saw with Watson. So I'm like, if they're able to process data and talk to you about the data, and then the next step is you're able to do automation, meaning it was able to execute the tasks from that data to an automation standpoint, all with the clack of a couple keys. I'm like, where are we going to be in the ad world? Like advertising, you bill for hourly rates on design, development, strategy. Well, this is doing all of it for you. So my thought was we quickly pivoted where I'm like, okay, having the days of having 100 people at an agency, I didn't have that. I mean, my peak, I was close to 30, but having 30 people work for us wasn't going to be optimal. So it was more, okay, we have to start thinking about being a pilot. Like you have to start becoming an expert on these platforms and learn how to pilot these platforms and then learn how to create workflows in these platforms that customers can see the actual business outcome. So, we went from like a true development shop on websites and marketing to AI workflow installers, which is what we became because that's what was required of us. And without rambling, I feel like marketers have a little bit of an edge on this, although we're the ones that are losing our jobs the most. Like entry level marketers are in trouble right now. A lot of marketers, when they haven't adapted, there's a problem. But we understand business processes, we understand branding, we understand messaging, we understand what consumers want to hear. And when you think about that, when you kind of take an old school SEO person, they know how to talk to these things and they know how to write the right metadata where these things can understand. And so I do believe we have a little bit of an advantage because we have typically always written for like what's called an algorithm, which is Google. And now we're just writing for a different type of algorithm, which is solve my problem. So we have a bit of an advantage. So I know it sounds really weird, but marketers, when you do it right, are the ones I do think will lead the AI charge. But it doesn't mean because you came up with a crafty line that you're going to be it. I think these agencies that have like, full diversification are the ones that can really embrace it. So a bit of a rambling point there, but that's
No, it's
how
interesting.
I got there.
So if I can do such and such with ChatGPT and it can come up with
Solutions, right?
solutions, okay, what then do you, and I'm not saying you don't, I'm just wondering what is the piece that you then add to that?
So what we do is we build, well, first and foremost, what we do is we screen everything that comes back. You don't want to put anything out into the wild unless you have an eye on it. So I do believe
You mean for accuracy?
accuracy to make sure it makes sense. I do believe humans are you're going to be what's known as a co-pilot, although Microsoft actually calls their product Copilot, which is an AI product. We could touch on that later, but I believe humans are going to be co-pilots of this, and they're going to look at the data that's coming out of the AI. They're going to look at the automation that's happening, and they're the ones that's going to green flag it or red flag. I think that's what's going to happen. As they learn, as they get smarter, I think the co-pilots are going to be able to handle more and more. They'll be able to run more and more data through it, and then they'll start trusting these things. But that is where we come in, number one. Number two, for these things to work right, you do have to train them. It's not like, hey, I'm just going to throw something at you and you're an expert. They're not there. They have to be trained. So there is an enormous amount of data that we put in the back end of these things, which is called like a custom GPT, where it gets to know everything about your business, everything about your industry, marketing goals, all of that. We build all that all the way out. And then we start running your campaign through there. And then as the campaign's running through there, we're then screening it to make sure it's right. If something's wrong, we go back in and train it and so forth. So I guess you could basically say we're basically pilots of the AI is what we do. And then we build AI workflows for clients that actually make sense. I know it sounds complicated, but when I show people, they're like, oh, it's not that hard. I'm like, no, it's not.